Right? That's clock management right there. Hey, welcome, America, to the Eric and Rodney Show with Robin, presented by Offensively Creative and Dinsmore Steel. I'm America's sweetheart, Eric Ryan. I own Offensively Creative. We have Rod, the PEO god. He owns Dinsmore Steel. And the thriller from Manila, Robin Valdez. And ladies and gentlemen, I think perhaps our most accomplished guest of all time, we have Coach Jack Crowe. Welcome to the show, Jack.
Welcome, Coach.
Welcome.
Where are you located? Where are you located? What part of the world?
I'm in Massachusetts, so we're celebrating the
oh wow,
the NFL Open. Yeah, we're gonna talk some football.
All right.
I'm in New York. I'm on Long Island.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I'm in Manila, Philippines, so not far away.
Yeah. And where are you?
I'm in Birmingham. It's my hometown. I'm sort of run the course. You end up back home as you find out.
You sure do. You know why I know that about you? Because you have a Wikipedia page.
You know, anytime you start out and that, like, my birth date is wrong, you better think about everything else twice too.
Oh no, your birthday's wrong on your Wikipedia page?
I don't know who writes these things.
Absurd.
Were you born?
I can tell you this: you have some fans. I've had people offer for me to pay them thousands and thousands of dollars to write a Wikipedia page, and I was like, I don't think anyone would care. So I will just say this, Jack: you're the only person we've had on this entire show, that has ever had a Wikipedia page. You might be the only person that even knows how to use Wikipedia.
I don't know where it came from. I mean, some of that information isn't exactly right, but
this interview is going to go horribly wrong then. So what's your birthday? I don't want to harp on this, but how long?
Y'all can fix it. It's April the 6th, 1948.
That's way wrong.
Yeah, these guys are out of control.
Oh my God.
Yeah, makes me a year older. Hell, it's getting
Robin, call Wikipedia and get them on the line. Tell Julian the song and whoever's running that place. We need some help.
Somebody live chat with Wikipedia. Yes. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so Jack, listen, this show is huge. I mean, millions and billions of people in the Philippines watch it every day. So I don't know if you've seen it, but the format generally is we talk about the news for a little while. We try to make that funny, and then we talk about you. And since me and Rodney have a vested interest in football as fans.
Yeah.
Well, I played in high school and middle school.
Me too.
Yeah, I was an amateur player.
Well, Rodney, let me tell you, I was a head coach at Arkansas when I was 40, but I graduated from a college from a school that didn't have a football team at the time.
Oh.
With a degree in chemistry. So when somebody tries to say I just played in high school, listen, man, if you played in high school, you know everything you need to know. I mean,
great. Perfect.
It doesn't evolve a whole lot after that, to be honest with you.
Really?
No, not really.
Just still hope, boys.
Tom needs me. I you know what? That makes me feel good because I got to be honest with you. I don't know how Aaron's going to do in the next couple of weeks. They might need me. I've never thrown before. I'm more of a runner, but you know what? Whatever they need, I can do it for them. 100 million.
I tell you what, every football team needs is heart. That's what they need.
Well, me and Eric have enough heart for the whole team. Maybe more than Tom Brady has. We just don't have any skills or weapons.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
We have a lot of okay. Well, listen, Jack, I don't know if you know this too. So every day in the United States is a day to celebrate something. So we try to call that into play here. So today's a huge day. I don't know if you know this, but today's National Beer Day. Can you believe it? Oh my God! Finally,
this is a good day.
This is one of the best days in the calendar in the United States. And I don't want to brag, but I celebrate. I keep National Beer Day in my heart all year long. So I don't need a day. But Jack, are you a beer drinker?
I'm the only one in my family that isn't. I always go to the wine. So
so you do.
Yeah, I go to the wine. But let me tell you what, if they weren't beer drinkers, there probably wouldn't be any football either. So I was
going to say today's
I hold them right up there. I hold them right up there with the highest esteem.
I agree with you. So the NFL's opening today. It's National Beer Day. We have a football coach. This is unbelievable. This is so serendipitous. Rodney, are you a beer drinker?
I am.
What do you like?
I do like beer.
You like the shitty piss water? Or you like IPAs? So you get a sleeve tattoo and a beard? What are you into?
No sleeve tattoos. I like Modelo Especial.
Oh, I like that. I didn't say I didn't drink beer, but I like that beer. Yeah, I like
good.
Yeah.
Did you know that it's the #1 beer in the United States since Bud Light crashed? Yeah, so Bud Light was the #1 for like 30 years. They did that thing with the trans lady, and now nobody's drinking Bud Light. So it's Modelo, is the #1 beer in the United States.
Wow, it's good
Very
stuff.
Cool.
Yep. It's in my refrigerator, quite honestly. Like I said, everybody around me is a beer drinker.
Yeah, it's good.
It's in my refrigerator.
I just like getting drunk, but beer isn't my drink of choice. I like bourbon. You like bourbon?
I'm Patrons.
Oh, look, you tequila. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So tequila
Very
and
nice.
wine. You were a man of sophistication, I can tell.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Most of the people that I knew in coaching were bourbon drinkers. I mean, Coach Bryant was notorious Old Forester.
Yeah. Old Forester's
You know,
good. Real
yeah.
good. It's the thing, like I'm from Massachusetts. I'm a East Coast elitist, but you guys make the best booze. Anyone with your accent just is making unbelievable brown booze. So
Well, I tell you what, a lot of it out in these hills. Now I'm looking out at the mountains out over the top here. There's a lot of it out there that's clear, that's illegal, and they're still drinking a lot of it. I mean, it's still next to marijuana. It's probably still, working the back roads more than anything else. But
yeah, it blows my mind that booze has been illegal since 1922 or whatever it is, and people are still like hillbillies are still out in the mountains making moonshine. I don't know why. Like you can go to the store and buy it. You don't have to make it.
Yeah.
Right, well,
they haven't gotten word.
Somebody should write them a letter. Robin, do you drink beer over there in the Philippines? Is it a big thing?
We do, but here's the problem. In the Philippines, the beer industry is like heavily monopolized, so we have no choice but to drink shitty piss water.
No,
really?
So,
That's the name of it.
but I still love it.
Yeah.
Shitty piss
Wow.
water.
I think we've discussed this, but you haven't had an IPA, like an American style IPA, or have you?
No.
No, it's gonna blow your mind.
Well, let me ask you a question. Aren't IPAs from India?
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
So he might have had one, not even own it.
Kind of.
It's possible.
Jack, Robin was born in India, so he's half Filipino, half what's your father?
Dutch.
Dutch.
Yeah, half Filipino, half Dutch, born in India. So
Wow.
Hates
World-
America.
World man. World
he's-
man. Yeah.
I don't think he's ever played American football, though. Have you?
I've not always been intrigued. It
Mhm.
just seems like a very passionate sport. We don't have anything quite like American football. Wish we did.
Mm-mm.
Well, there are more young Americans playing soccer right now, though.
Mm,
I mean, it has a passion with fans, but it is not does not look like it's going to be the sport of the in the community much longer. I mean, soccer is really overshooting American football. So it's just the world getting smaller.
yeah, but I just don't think soccer. The field's the size of Rhode Island. Like,
Yeah.
you
Lot of
score
running.
once, you can't come back. If a team has a 1-0 lead, you're like, it's over. Game's
I
over.
didn't say it was going to be the fan sport because it'll be a long time before anything catches up with football.
Well, you'll be happy to know this, Jack. A couple of weeks ago, I was alerted to one of my friends said to me, "You're not gonna believe this. Lionel Messi now plays for America." I said, "What is he playing for in America over here? He's changed sports." They said, "No. He's playing for the soccer team." I didn't even know we had a soccer team. Apparently, we have a league.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it. I said, "My God, is this new?"
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, is Messi one of the freakiest athletes you've ever
He's
seen?
incredible.
It's
He's not bad.
unbelievable, and he looks like Joe on the street. And
Mhm.
I coach Bo Jackson. I have a history with great athletes. It's the only reason I really had any sustainability as a coach. I was just lucky enough to be around a few periodically, sort of regularly through her whole career, just guys that were better than everybody else. And then so I'm a talent scout, always a talent scout. And when you look at you watch the US Open and you look at the talent that was out there yesterday, the evolution of the talent is changing in tennis. You just see the evolution of talent in baseball and talent. And I mean, best baseball player is not from America. He's got a UCL tear right now, but I mean, that guy's Babe Ruth made over, but just watching
That's the guy for the Dodgers, right?
for the Angels.
Angels. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
He's incredible. He's incredible.
Unbelievable. Yeah. But
He
when
needs
you
to get
look
to the
at
Yankees,
when you look at the evolution of athletes, and which is sort of the core piece of sports, a guy like Messi, I mean, it's just hard to understand. Pigeon-toed, not very tall. There's something besides height, weight, and speed that carries what an athlete can actually accomplish, and he's just got a sixth sense.
He does.
I feel that way about myself on the pickleball court. It's almost like a seventh sense. Often. Now, what I'll tell you is that I haven't been playing the very best people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you need better talent.
when I'm playing, give me an example. I played this group the other day. Guy just had knee surgery. Couldn't handle me. Didn't know where I was going. I didn't know where I was going, but you know what I did know is that he wasn't going anywhere. So it didn't matter where I went.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that pickleball now, that is
I love it.
Gigantic. And I haven't quite figured out what the talent factors are in it, but they have a professional league now. So
I haven't figured out the talent either.
Yeah. Jack, do you think pickleball is going to take over football someday in the United States? Is it going to be a Super Bowl? The idiots on a pickleball court.
I think it may take over the what you'd call the suburban population.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
I don't know.
The suburban 80+ population, I think, is going to get really into pickleball.
Well, you know what is here something funny? So the other day I was watching something and Carlos Alcaraz came out and never seen pickleball before. They showed him the paddle. He's looking at it and he goes up to they start playing whatever. He kind of gets it and they pop one up to him. They're like, what's he going to do? He goes, and it literally drops right over the net, goes right in the kitchen. And he's like, this is pretty easy. I said, pray God he doesn't start playing. Get back to the tennis court, please. Please.
Yeah. It's ping pong.
Yeah, it is.
Steroids.
It's closer to ping pong, I think.
Yeah.
So it's all about spinning and dropping. Yeah.
Here's the problem. If it's like ping pong, wait till the Chinese get involved because forget it. Have you seen them? Oh my God, they're good at ping pong.
My friend Kyle, speaking of devil, is Chinese from China, and he is incredible at pickleball. You're not gonna believe this. He is also very almost like a professional athlete when it comes to ping pong.
Well,
I played him and couldn't even see the ball.
The Asians are very good with paddles. All right, so listen, we have a lot to talk about with Jack. You coaching Bo Jackson was not in your Wikipedia page.
No, we got to get that on there.
There's a lot of things.
I'll update it. Don't worry.
There's a lot of things that aren't in there.
Yeah. All right. So we have some questions, but first we got to cover the news because America demands our opinions on what's going on in the world today. So Robin, what do we got? We'll blaze through this. We have 18 minutes.
America does. So here's my stance first before we get into the topic. I might be a little bit old-fashioned, but the general idea of cars for me is like get me from point A to point B. And so we have all this new car tech, and it's taking a bit of a turn for the worse. So that you have these newer car models. They have so many sensors, and they updated their privacy policies because it's kind of creepy. So the fine print says it's okay that people in the car consent to collect medical diagnosis, genetic data, conversations, and, well, sexual activity even.
Yes. Nissan has in their privacy policy that they're allowed to record your sexual activity. Did you know this?
What?
Wait, hold on a second. Who is this?
What?
Nissan, dude. I didn't want to believe. So here's the thing. When I read the headline, I was like, I think I'm being naive, but they're just collecting information to like sell me, to put ads in front of me on social media. But then it looks way worse because it says in the Nissan privacy policy, it spells out they're allowed to get information on your sex life in the privacy policy.
Yep.
New Mercedes download TikTok automatically into the car. Like we're in some weird dystopian nightmare right now. It's concerning.
It's good that some people are still reading the fine prints. We never know.
Here's the thing.
But here's the thing. Even if you read the fine print, what are you going to do? So I'm not going to do it, Nissan. You can't use the stuff then. Get out of here.
That's exactly the way they word all these policies is that they're very shallow. So even if you have a problem with it, they go, all right, well, don't drive the car then. So there's nothing you can do. Yeah. It's remarkable.
Well, y'all have a data set, I'm sure that you work, or you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. I have a foundation that has it's a teaching foundation and it has a learning management system, and the way we handle data and has just blown my mind because we have some experts, but just handling data in general has gotten to be like handling gold. I mean, it's just. And for them, because you're in their car, to be able to collect all that data, what the hell are they going to do with it?
Well, that's the thing. Like, what the weight? What are you going to do with my weight? How are you going to do with it? Like, how often I break? I mean, you must want it for some reason. And I think I'm being naive.
I have a couple of ideas, Eric, just off the top of my head. Maybe Weight Watchers.
Weight Watchers, yeah.
Right, you don't wear your seatbelt. Maybe we say this lady or man is a rebel, wants to do some skydiving. Okay, music reference. You're listening to Tupac, Tupac's a bad example because he's passed away, we think.
Taylor Swift.
Let's say you're listening to Taylor Swift, and we can say, hey, listen, I don't know if you heard about the Taylor Swift's concert. It's right up the street here. Stop at Bojangles and grab yourself a biscuit and some dirty rice while you're out. You know what I mean?
That makes a lot of sense.
If Nissan, if you're listening, I can help you. Call me.
Yeah. So there's one thing about the data collection, but also I guess employees at Tesla were caught like watching people just driving cars. Like they have nothing else to do. So they're just watching you while you're sitting in the car driving. That's creepy.
Curious.
Is it not? I mean, I don't like that. And it occurred to me that the last time you could get laid in a car without somebody watching was probably in the Model T in Titanic. Remember the scene?
Actually, but here's the weird thing. We were watching.
We were. James Cameron was.
So
I know the whole world got
I don't know. Maybe it's before that.
Yeah. This is what I was thinking about cars too with all the technology. So I looked this up. You know how the fastest you can go in the United States legal is 85. You can do that outside of Austin, Texas. Why then do American cars do 120? Like, shouldn't cars be regulated? Like, it's inviting you to break the law. The other thing is breathalyzers. Shouldn't every car have a breathalyzer? Should you not be able to drive your car unless you're sober? I mean, put that shit in everything. Regulate the speed. My point is, we have this technology. You're weighing me and watching me have sex in my car. Why don't you prevent crashes in some way? You know?
I'm not getting what you're saying here. I don't see any advertising revenue in that, but keep thinking.
Oh,
keep
that's right. You can't make money. Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot we lived in America.
There's no money in the prevention.
That's right.
Hey, there's all kinds of truth to what you just said right there. I have an injury prevention, youth sports injury prevention foundation. It's amazing how many people are in deniability that there's an injury problem.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
Which is shocking. I have all your
prevention doesn't pay.
Nope.
It doesn't pay.
It's like Chris Rock said. Chris Rock said the money's not in the cure, the money's in the treatment. So if you're polio, it's over. But if you continue to treat polio, you make money. So
that's right.
God bless America. All right, what else is in the news? I want to get to Jack.
Okay. So this news is shocking because it's going to be the first time that Apple might take a blow in its stock. So there's rumors that China might ban iPhones altogether, but they're starting with government employees. So it's a big problem. 9% of Apple's profits all come from China. Eventually they made 19%. So like all the
90.
Oh, that would be too much.
But I mean 20% is still quite large for the consumer base. So it's just worrisome because they might mandate everyone starts using Xiaomi phones, and then before you know it, Chinese citizens can monopolize it, and they're just misinformed through propaganda, and it just pushes us further away from the West.
This is one of those things where every day we get some wacky news out of China, and I don't know if they're pulling some like sort of Donald Trump, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West thing where they just like being in the news. But there's a lot of smoke here, like at some point, it seems like we're in a sort of weird pre-Cold War era with China where we're banning their stuff. They're banning our stuff. We're spying on them. They're spying on us. It's concerning.
All I ever hear is here's the thing, though. I got to be honest with you. All I ever hear is how well they're doing. But then I heard the other day, the average Chinese person makes like $300 a month. Newsflash. We're all making more than $300 a month. Right. If you could put that picture back up, just want to weigh in for a second. Newsflash. I think that's like the iPhone 4. We got 3 things on the back now and another button. So I don't know what in the world kind of tech they're using. It looks like Iran stuff or maybe the Cubas. Yeah. But I think there's some problems over in China.
I think, just like at a base level, if they want to start a world war, it's tough to get an oppressed population to get real worked up about something. So I don't know if we're going to get to this story later, but they're banning certain clothing in China now. So if you get caught wearing, like, famously, someone wore a kimono which is Japanese. Somebody wore a Japanese military uniform, and they're getting arrested in the streets for wearing certain clothing. So I know what they're doing, but I don't think it's necessarily good to oppress your people if you're trying to get some sort of nationalism and you want to fight a world war, which is what it seems they want to do.
No, it's CCP's agenda to tell the Chinese people exactly what like the best Chinese model person should look like.
Yeah. But
the other thing I don't understand is that all these people want to go to war and start a war, and maybe China could do some stuff. They always told us to fear Russia, and Russia hating being able to take out Ukraine. And let's be honest, Joe Biden showing up every couple of weeks with a couple $2 billion has held off Russia for almost 2 years now. Yeah, I don't think they're ready for us. I really don't.
It's looking good for our team. Here's the problem, though. Once nuclear war starts, we all die. So, it's like it's tough.
Robin, let me ask you, because you live over there. Is the Taiwan threat real?
Oh yeah, it's very real. It's even real in the Philippines because
Sorry, guys, my
so
computer.
the Chinese are very smart. What they do is there's a law that any sea area that's 200 miles away from the coast belongs to that certain country. So the Chinese are very well known for this. They create artificial islands, and they're like, oh, okay, the sea is ours now.
Oh, really?
So it happens every day. It's a big problem, and well, the Filipino seamen
So
know
when it happens, what do
best.
you guys do? Do you create another island?
Wow, we come knocking on Papa Joe's door. We're scared.
And he's snoozing.
Don't worry, we got you. You don't worry about Taiwan. We'll protect you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from China. What else do we got? Oh, I like these because they're pertinent to our guest today. Kind of. Well, not this one. But
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna talk about American sports now. And well, of course, it wouldn't be American sports if it wasn't filled with controversy and drama.
Yep.
So are the Cavender twins popular?
I
To
have
some
not heard of
extent.
them until today, but I'm going to tell you, I can tell why they might be popular.
They play for the Clippers?
Shockingly, they do not play for the Clippers.
Oh, okay. The WNBA?
They do not play for the WNBA, but they helped the Hurricanes make it to the Elite Eight. So not bad.
Who's the Hurricanes? Miami?
Miami Hurricanes. So the whole thing is this
I
article
see.
came from
Oh,
Clocks.com. They are getting backlash because they are attractive and they're twins. And so what it is female athletes famously don't get any press in the United States unless something wacky happens. So these two women are attractive and seemingly good at basketball. And people are mad at them because they are cashing in on white privilege, they're saying. But so I think this is a larger issue because, first of all, listen, as humans, we like spectacle. We like novelty. We like attractive women who are good at things. We like attractive women who are not good at things. So I don't know why this is a story. Also, twins kind of freak us out. I don't remember. You guys remember these guys? They were the fattest twins. They were always in the Guinness World Record. Like, we love twins doing weird
How are those guys doing now?
They're playing basketball. They just made the Final Four.
Yep. Come a long
The two of them made the Final Four?
Yeah. Not bad, right? So, Mike,
I got to be honest. I don't see a problem here. Is you have two attractive women who are good at basketball?
Yes, but they're like cashing in on TikTok and they're appearing at the ESPYs.
Oh, so I see they're making money.
They're making money. But here's the thing. Both of you and I don't know if, Jack, you watched this, but the Johnny Manziel thing on Netflix. Johnny Manziel, they said, when he won the Heisman, made the school $80 million and wasn't allowed to see a dime of that. Yeah. These collegiate athletes make these schools untold amount of money. These two go on TikTok and everyone's crying about it because they're making a few dollars. I don't understand what the controversy is.
Are these girls in communist China?
Exactly.
Sounds like it.
I'll give you a add-on to that. I went to the Auburn LSU game last year, sat in a box, watching the crowd come in. There was going to be 90,000 people in there. And there must have been 2,000, it may have been more than that, Auburn jerseys with 34.
Yep.
Now that's Bo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is 40 years later.
Yeah.
How many of those, and I talked to Bo this week, and I can only imagine what he felt like it's been left on the table.
Right?
Yeah, unbelievable. Of course, I'm sure he's made his own. He's doing okay. He ain't crying about it, I promise you. But
he's doing okay. But if you look at someone like Johnny Manziel, who flamed out in the NFL, and listen, I know he got his rookie contract and everything, but the school's point of view is, well, we give you a free education, we give you somewhere to live, we give you meals. That is a fraction of what these athletes are making these schools. And I don't know that the solution necessarily is to pay collegiate athletes, but like, why not? Why are other people benefiting?
We were all, listen, I've had the NCAA come after me multiple times. I mean, one time it was literally to get all of me. And it was so ridiculous that the only thing they ever had on any of us, we were just trying to help kids that had needs. And now we're past that. But the whole thing started because the NCAA, which is a house of cards, it's being held together by lawyers and college presidents who don't have any more reality of what's going on than to listen to a table full of lawyers. And should have had this fixed so long ago.
Yeah.
And now that genie is out of the bottle. Not only is it not giving them what they need, I mean, just basic needs, but now that we've come to realize that, you know, the revenue built around what these athletes do. I mean, and ESPN has made that wasn't necessarily the case. I remember back when I was at Auburn and Bo was on his way to winning the Heisman, is about the same time that ESPN started.
Right.
And somebody really smart, and I think it was Coach Dive and maybe some folks that advised him well. But we had an uplink right outside our locker room, which I had never seen a goddamn uplink before. And I wondered, what is that thing doing? But back in those days, it was who could get the video there the quickest. And we were on ESPN. Bo was on ESPN. Now, this is the early days now. This is the early 80s, early to mid 80s. But it was slowly turning, as this is the way I put it in my world. That E is before that S. And that E, and slowly but surely, we were coming to be the E. Yeah. And I thought I was in a business about the S. And it just got so the entertainment value just went off the down.
Do you remember those Nike posters that had him with a baseball bat and his pads on?
Down the hall.
And it said Bo knows.
Yeah.
I love it. I used to have them everywhere.
My father just sent a clip of Bo Jackson throwing somebody out. Like, he must have thrown the ball 200 miles an hour. Like, what a fucking athlete. Oh my God.
Let me tell you guys, have y'all ever been in the Superdome?
No.
Okay, well, the Superdome has a gondola scoreboard. And I mean, it is up there. And a guy named Ray Guy, I'm predating myself here, a guy named Ray Guy, the best punter of all times, had the Pro Bowl in there a year before we played Michigan there in the Sugar Bowl. And Ray Guy made a point of punting the ball and hitting that gondola just to make the point of who he was. And so we go into that stadium the next year to play Michigan in the Sugar Bowl. And our punter is trying to hit the gondola. Now, he's going to punt for Kansas City. He's really good, but he ain't coming close to that goddamn gondola. Now, ain't even close. Most punters wouldn't even. Bo walks up behind him. This is before practice. Excuse my French, just bullshitting, you know. And he turns around to Bo because Bo made fun of him. He says, "You think you can hit it?" He ain't loosened up. Reached over, grabbed a football. Hit that goddamn gondola. Now, I was with him for 4 years, everything he ever did, okay? That still is the one thing that I'm going, it ain't possible. I mean, it was up there like airplanes would hit it. It was way up. So he was something. His arm may have been as freaky a thing as there was, but his speed, if he would have just gone straight to the Olympics and been an Olympic sprinter, he'd still have the world record.
It was just a hip, right? That was the whole thing, the hip injury.
Well, the hip is what, turned it all around. The fact that he was playing two sports just really worked against him, just refining the skill.
Was he the only person ever to do that? Who else has done that?
The only person ever.
Deion Sanders
ever play in the Pro Bowl and the baseball All-Star game. Deion played both of them, but Deion didn't. He went to the Pro Bowls in football, but he never went to the Major League All-Stars.
No, but he wasn't in the World Series with the. He was a Brave, didn't he? He played the Braves.
Yeah, he played for the Braves. He's as freaky an athlete, I think, as Bo, but just in different ways.
Well, we have one last story before we get to you. I think it segues perfectly because it's about a. I'm not sure if you've ever.
I forgot we were doing stories. I'm sorry.
I almost did too.
This is a very obscure football player who just got to deal with Delta. So if you want to.
Yeah. Can you guess who it is?
Just got
Tom Brady. Tomcat.
Oh wow.
Tomcat Brady.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think of this guy, Jack? You think he's the real deal?
What? Oh, hell yeah, he's the real deal.
We love Tomcat.
But he's a good story for what the reality of everybody thinking they can pick out a junior in high school and decide how good he's going to be. I mean, he's a 6th-round draft choice.
199th pick overall. Crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I keep saying about me in pickleball. I'm an unpolished gem. A discount. I'm
The game-
45 right
game-
now. In 20 years, when I'm ready for senior league, I'm going to be. They're going to be like, who is this madman?
The Tom Brady of pickleball, Rodney Steele.
Yes.
The game still requires a high level of dedicated and really sixth sense. I mean, he had a sixth sense.
Oh yeah.
Some people they got something nobody else has got, and you couldn't measure it if you had to.
No,
There's
I
just
know.
something about his ability to process the game, and you don't
So-
do
They
it.
see things that other people can't see, right?
Exactly right. I had George Brett. I went to batting practice with Bo one time. They were playing in Kansas City. They were playing the Yankees, and George Brett walked up to me, standing behind the batting cage, and Bo got through, and he walked over and he said, "What do you think, Coach?" I said, "Boy, you got a hell of an eye, Bo." He said, "Not really, Coach. I gave that guy $100, and I knew what he could hit the same spot, and I just because he killed it." He said, "George, why don't you tell him what you see when the ball's pitched?" Literally, George was really sort of shy about it, but basically, he says, "Well, I see colors," and Bo said, "Well, just go ahead and tell him." He could see the seams.
That's insane.
I mean, where does that come from? I mean, he literally could read the seams on the ball as it was spinning, and could tell where the ball, whether the ball, speed of it, how many, four seamer, he could see all that stuff in the air.
I think a heart runs you so far, but you can't teach how to read seams, right? Or even
No, I lost that skill in T-ball when they were underhanded.
Now that was a shocking statement of unusual skills, but that guy right there, Tom Brady, he's got some probably just as damn crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, to Daniel's point, the light's never too bright. Like I'm a huge Patriots fan. Tom Brady took a nap before Super Bowl 36. You know how crazy? Like who the fuck? The biggest moment of your life, his second year in the league, you shouldn't be there. Drew Bledsoe hurt. You take a nap? Like, oh, you're a different breed, baby.
You remember when he wrote that book about I read the book, right? The method, and I'm like, how much does he lift? How many push-ups is he doing? He's like, I don't lift weights, I don't do nothing. I stretch, and they rub me. I'm like, what in the hell is he talking about? What's going on here?
Pliability. He's very pliable. Real quick on the Delta thing. So they're hiring Tom Brady to help develop and train teamwork tools. I love Tom Brady. Again, let me reiterate this whole thing. But this man is not necessarily a great teammate. I don't can you imagine him screaming at people at Delta the way he screams at Julian Edelman? Shouts him to be faster. Sorry, they're not fast. Yeah, it's just.
I was gonna ask, I know you guys love Tom Brady, but what do you think if he's gonna be a strategic advisor for Delta? It's just kind of.
I want him away from planes. If you throw an interception on the football field, bad. You throw an interception at 30,000 feet, many people die. I want to just get.
Hey, it's marketing. That's all the hell.
It is. And speaking of marketing, look how hard he tried to shoehorn a connection here. He goes, I flew on Delta many times, even after celebrating Super Bowls. He's loving and respecting the airlines. His mother grew up as a flight attendant. Obviously, I know about planes. So this just goes back to this.
He's like, obviously, I know about planes. I own a few.
Exactly. But if you're attractive and good at sports, you're allowed to work at Delta, or you're allowed to be at the ESPYs. I mean, this is America, baby.
You're allowed to do anything. You know what it seems? Oddly enough, it seems a lot like high school.
I think high school was an allegory for life. Good
looking and athletic. Come on in here. Get on in here.
Crazy how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. Something also quite similar happened in the Philippines, but it's like a much worse case. You guys know who Manny Pacquiao is, right?
We do know who Pacquiao is, yeah.
Are you guys also aware that he's also on the Philippine Senate? He's a senator.
No,
I didn't know that.
Surprise!
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. How's he doing? Is he doing all right?
I haven't heard about him.
You know what?
He
I would
always
not
was a very smart man when it came to roads and bridges.
But can you imagine trying to argue with Manny Pacquiao on the Senate floor and he gets in your face? You're like, all right, whatever you want to do, pass the law. Jesus, just don't hit me, Manny. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Mayweather should get into politics now.
Mike Tyson should get into politics.
Isn't he trying?
Can they spell it? Mayweather is like literally just an imbecile.
Yeah, but he sleeps in a bed of Cadillacs, so you can't.
Right.
Robin, what's the average Filipino's opinion of America, the United States?
Oh, we love you guys so much. Like our education system, all Americanized our favorite sport, basketball, because of America. Even though our average height is like 5'4", can't stop playing
Basketball's terrible.
basketball.
You need to follow football and pickleball.
Yeah.
Basketball is too hard to follow, and it's too hard. I can't play basketball anymore.
We
I can't
can't.
play
We love
football
America
either,
too
but-
much. That's why it's got to be basketball.
Yeah, Robin, you were like, when I found out way before I met you, we talked in email, and then when I talked to you for the first time, like, you don't have an accent. It's amazing. So you must be in your accent. If you have an American, you talk like an American. You're not like, so
that's because I also went to American schools. So
yeah, but that's crazy too. Like, there's no Filipino schools here. I don't think I can't send my kid to a Filipino school.
Yes, I went to a Filipino school. I'm joking.
Hey, what's up? All right, Jack, we're going to talk about you because, like I said,
let's talk about that. Jack has better stories.
I'm a politician.
You are a politician.
Yeah, and I finally realized that I was a head coach in college when I was 28, and I had to deal with things I didn't understand because all I cared about was on that field, and I used to just cuss everybody that had to make a political decision. Yep. And all I can say in the last 20 years, I've just turned into a goddamn politician, because if you want something to be better than it is, you got to deal with change. And if you're going to deal with change, whether it be in a football program or in injury prevention in kids, which is what I do, I got a law passed in Alabama, and it really, you know when to talk, you know when to keep your mouth shut, and you know who to do favors for, and if you're gonna, well, you got it, baby.
I like your logo, by the way. I like your logo.
Win without losses is incredible. So this is fascinating. So it's Alabama, right, where the law was passed?
Yeah, but it's been passed in Arkansas. It's in the Georgia Senate. It's in the Texas, legislature. This year it's coming to Maryland, Kentucky, and Florida.
Wow. I mean, so I watch a lot of documentaries. I was a vegetarian for 5 years, so I watch a lot of nutrition documentaries, but they'd always say how doctors essentially don't get trained in nutrition. I think not teaching coaches or forcing coaches to not learn about safety is the same kind of thing. It's a huge gap.
It is, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It is. It's a major problem, and I'm going to leave you with some facts here, guys. 80% of all athletes, and athletes are considered an individual who participates in youth sports. 80% of that number, 36 million, are age 14 and under. Yep. At which point you do not have athletic trainers, you don't have educated coaches. It is strictly a world of volunteers. Right. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the motivations aren't exactly what they ought to be, but it's become a $30 billion business. I don't know if y'all have children, but in America, if you sign up for a baseball league, they require you to have a certain bat, and that bat costs $350.
Lordy.
And you can take it from there. When you got 36 million consumer parents, 36 million consumer parents of 14 and under, now you start traveling. Mm-hmm. Some of the biggest, they had the SEC championship game in Atlanta. Y'all seen the spectacle of it, Mm-hmm. And I'm in Atlanta right behind it, talking to some really visitors and convention bureau type people in Atlanta. And they found out what I was in. And so they made the point, well, Coach, you do realize that was the second biggest event for Atlanta in the month of January. It wasn't the biggest. And I said, well, what was the biggest? USA Cheer came in here and had their national convention. They spent twice as much money.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, we're dealing with money driving sports at the 12-year-old level, just like we're dealing with ESPN money driving collegiate sports.
Wow. So that never occurred to me. So it's more of a money thing than it is. So you must get pushback when you go and you're trying to
get some. I had a phone call yesterday, and I took it in the car with my wife, and I am a coach, and I was ready. And you can push me to a point and you're about to get everything you need to know whether you want it or not. And I'm 75. Your fuse gets shorter anyway.
Yep.
But it is asinine to have the CDC say that we have a youth sports epidemic, and you be talking to people and they just infer that their kids aren't exposed to risk. I mean,
that's
we wouldn't have got a law passed in these states we've got it passed in if the science wasn't clear about this. And there are 4 killers.
Oh, God.
Sudden cardiac arrest, concussions, heat illness, and a lot of suicides tied to that mental health issue that's tied to sports. A lot of kids their lives get sort of very complicated in youth sports.
You know, one thing I'll say too, and I don't know that much about coaching and stuff, but I did play sports when I was younger, is that I agree with you. When I was young, right, like, and I'm taking it back to T-ball and stuff, but when I was very young, my stepfather showed me a lot. Him and I were very close, and I would say he was really like a father, but he showed me like how to play baseball, how to play football, how to throw football, all that stuff, right? But like, I remember playing with other kids who didn't have anyone teaching them how to do that stuff, and they just didn't know what in the world they were doing. Like, they couldn't hit a baseball, they couldn't throw a baseball or football, anything. And I remember, oddly enough, now that you've mentioned it, I remember a lot of those kids got injured severely, not like crippled or not like long-term injuries, but like, they were pretty, they didn't play sports anymore. Let me say it that way, right? Or maybe they went in a different direction, right? Because they didn't know what in the world they were doing.
I'll say too, to that point, this website is endlessly fascinating. I want to talk about the blogs. I read the Imani Bell thing, the basketball player that died of heat stroke, and 2 of the coaches were charged with murder. Or the story about the twins. I don't know if you remember this one, but one of them got hit in the head. The mother, because she had taken this course, knew the signs to look for. She got a head injury, seemed to be fine, cried it out, puked later, and then they realized that she knew that was a sign of serious brain trauma. But aside from that, this makes you want to be a coach. Like, when you go to this page and you watch people talk about coaching and how they serve as father figures and guides, and it's just such a beautiful thing. I'm ready to sign up. I mean, at some point, it's on 6.
Well, I can tell you, in this country today, kids got probably 4 chances to be led the right way, starting at home with parents. That's under suspect.
Yep.
At schools with teachers.
Suspect.
In churches. and on the playing field with coaches.
That's right.
So
they got 4 chances.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and you will find a lot of people later in life will tell you how important that coach was in their life.
Right. Absolutely.
And,
that is
and
true.
So we've just got to make. And it's not about making $10 million a year as a head coach at Alabama. I don't want that to. Nick has an organization called Nick's Kids. He works with us.
He's in one of the videos.
And he's. I just think the coaches that are the most benefited need to make sure we look back and see what we're leaving behind us, because I'm not real sure that we're leaving it as good as we found it. And so I don't know how I got started. Well, I can tell you how I got started this, and I'll say it this way. At least I didn't run for the Senate like Tubbs did. Every coach.
Thank God. But I'm sure you would have been a much better senator than Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, boys, every coach, when they're through coaching, has this urge to be relevant. And so it sort of finds you. I'm sure Tubbs didn't retire and then one day decided he's going to run for the Senate. You sort of see what you pick up. And it's just interesting what coaches pick up. But this, I don't know if it was on the website. You look like you researched it pretty well, but you usually people don't know how this really got started. But when Obama said, if I had sons, I'd think twice about letting them play football. Y'all remember it was 2013, January the 23rd. It came out in the New Republic. That was a Sunday morning at 9:00. Time Warner had found me. I'd just been retired from coaching about 3 years. And Time Warner found me at my home. And the next morning, I was responding to the President of the United States with Soledad O'Brien. And it just steamrolled after that, because I didn't really even know what was inside of me till I started. You're given that platform, and okay, I'm supposed to be here, I guess. And I'm the former executive director of the American Sports Medicine Institute. That had something to do with it.
That helps.
And so, scientifically, I probably am a little more acumen than most people that have coached places I've coached. So I got sucked into this. I am trying to suck other people into this. Okay. If y'all will become advocates, I'll promise you, if you go out your door, you drive 5 miles, you're going to drive by the fields and see this going on.
Nice.
Aren't you? I mean, you're going to see it. It's it's prevalent. It is part of our culture. There are open fields, there are gymnasiums, and there are kids in there playing. And if they're 14 and under, they're more fragile. They need better care than the NFL does. NFL's consistently tried to, and are proving. In fact, I saw where Sunday night, Anderson Cooper is going to be talking about how safe the NFL has made football.
Right.
You know what my response to that is?
What's that?
Bullshit. All they're doing is protecting their brand. Money on top of money.
Anderson ought to suit up and run a couple plays and see how safe it is.
They've made the NFL game safer because they've thrown a bunch of money at it.
Right.
Okay. They've got 17 medical professionals on every sideline.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it safer. Is the game safer? It's more unsafe now than it's ever been, because you've got less oversight of what's needed, and that's education and medical professionals. And at the levels where it's really big, the only chance we got is to pick the right coaches and to pick them based on their character, and what they know about keeping kids safe. Because they don't keep those kids safe, the game is going to keep dying and keep dying and keep dying. Parents are going to eventually say, I love going to games. Hey, listen, I got 2 grandsons. They're my son's sons. They're moms. I don't know, Pop. I don't think so.
Right. And that's you. That's coming from a collegiate football coach's grandchildren.
That's right. I don't know, Pops. I don't think so.
What freaks me out, and I get it, like, it's capitalism. These football players are fodder to their cattle to make money, but at the same time, they are our sons, and we are hyper aware of the dangers of concussions these days. Right. We will tell you we want to protect our children, but you're still getting pushback. It's mind blowing. Because what you say, you're not saying don't play football. You're saying let's get the coaches coached up and trained on.
There's nothing wrong with football. There's nothing wrong with football if you tackle the right way, you take your head out of tackling, and you just take care of them, and you don't you make it age appropriate. If they're 11, the game's different, teach it different, but
you're right about
we got a long way to go. I'm not saying we're not getting there. And it's not like, to respond to what you said, it's not like anybody says they're against it. The hardest objection is apathy.
How can you be apathetic to this? I don't understand.
Well, I'm going to bring you to when I go to Tallahassee, Florida, and start putting the congressional influences together, I'll come down there and let you talk to them.
I want to go. I'm going to yell at people.
I have a question for you. Who do you think right now, in your opinion, are the 3 strongest quarterbacks?
Oh, nice. I like good football.
No, I have a lot of good questions. I love football.
Well,
line them up.
It's my favorite sport, other than pickleball.
Mahomes is he's a
gunslinger,
one of a kind, man. He's a one of a kind. I don't know, Jalen's a different kind of quarterback. I don't know that he's he's getting paid a lot of money, and there is a style of quarterback that he represents. I think when you get on the field with a Mahomes style, I don't know who's in his league. Aaron is still there, but fading.
Well,
The people that have the eyes and the ability to spread that ball all over the width of the field and the short side of the field and the depth of the field, the people that can do that, they're rare birds. And I think they're sort of like George Brett. I think about 90% of it is what they're able to do with their eyes, and they've got the body. They've got the body to back it up. And quite honestly, I don't think there's many of those out there. I mean, another one doesn't come to mind. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has been there, but in a league with Mahomes, the guy at Buffalo, I think he has some of that.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Did y'all watch Duke play Clemson?
I did.
Y'all watch Monday night?
No.
Here's the other thing. I mean, look where Mahomes came from. He came from Texas Tech. That kid at Duke, and I'm going, where the hell did
I hate Duke. I went to Carolina. I hate Duke.
They got a guy that sees it all now.
You know who I like is I like Colorado now. I'm a huge Deion Sanders.
That's where they got
500 yards. Oh my God!
That's where they got Daniel Jones was from Duke.
Yeah,
from the Giants. I don't know what in the world he's doing.
Well,
you know what I'll say about you, Jack? So I watched a lot of your press conferences last night when you were at Jacksonville State, and so for 23 years I've been listening to Bill Belichick, and all he does is got to play better in all three phases. Awful. He offers no insight. He's terrible, like great coach, terrible at press conferences. You are so insightful and meaningful, and like you're honest. There was one game you'd lost, and you blamed the kicking team, but it wasn't vindictive. You were just like, listen, a punt got blocked. They returned a kickoff for a touchdown. It was all the kicking game. And that's what a fan, the kicking game fucked it up. But normally coaches would be like, well, we just got to get better in all three phases. You're like, no, fuck special teams. They were the worst. But they
were terrible.
They were terrible, but you weren't doing it to be mean. A through line with all your press conferences is you're very honest. Like you praise when I think it deserves praise. You shit on people when they deserve to be shit on. It was just very.
Let me tell you who you got to really be honest with is, and I had 36 years of this walking in there, either as a head coach or the offensive coordinator, because those are the two positions I held, and looking those guys in the eyes and knowing, just like your own children, if you try that much to bullshit them, you can do that in their living room before they really get a read on you. But when you got them sitting in there, you better be brutally honest. And I just took the same face everywhere I went. Hell, but I knew this with those guys. And after a while, they can sort of read what you're going to say before you say it anyway. In fact, every once in a while, you'd come in there early and there'd be one of them standing in front of all the rest of them imitating you.
That's funny.
Because they look at the same guy say the same thing so much, they end up sitting there waiting those minutes for you to walk in there, sort of, what are we going to hear this time? And they're doing it. And then one of them will get bold enough to get up there and start acting like, and it's true. That's the way it is in every one of those rooms, by the way, not just with me. So if you think your line of communication is going to fool somebody, you better have the facts, and you better be able to back them up. And I don't know how much fact checking I see on CNN today, but I do feel like the stating the facts is usually the best.
Yeah,
I've learned we only cover Fox now.
I've learned on this show, anytime we do a story, I have to look at the opposite. So if we do a Fox News story, I have to go to CNN to get the other side of it. And there's always
exactly what I do.
Yeah. I have another question. Sorry, Eric, you want to go?
No.
Well, mine's quick. I have a question for you. So, and I could be inaccurate on this, but my understanding is that when Tiger Woods was born, right, his father, Earl, what was his name?
Yeah.
Trained him and had him playing golf and working and training and working and training, right? And then you look at somebody like, again, right? I happen to love Michael Jordan. I went to Carolina, by the way. And Michael Jordan, I'm sure he trained a lot.
You went to?
I did. I went to.
You're a Tar Heel?
I am.
Oh man.
So I think to myself, right? Is it the Tiger Woods approach, right? Like people say now, Tiger Woods has the perfect body for golf, but I feel like Tiger Woods could have been 4 foot tall and would have made it. Right? You know what I mean? He was knocking holes in ones when he was a child. Yeah. So my question is it practice, or is it just literally skill?
It's a combination of both. I mean, you can only go far without genetics coming into play. But there's an element of greatness. If you're just talking about greatness, did you ever see the movie Air?
Yes.
Yes. You know, that guy, when he, you know, slowed the shot down that Jordan took as a freshman, and he just watched him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a day at the park.
Right.
And that was what was going to make him greater than he was. It's just, there's an element in some of these people, and coaching don't have a damn thing to, I think moms and dads have everything to do with it. I think who they grow up with. And I think the star of the Air movie was his mama.
Absolutely.
I mean, he grew up with somebody that put something inside of him that was confidence. It was humility. It was but there's also, if y'all have children, you have more than one children, you don't have, they're almost opposites. I mean, if you have three, I mean, you're saying, oh, hell, there's three different stars in the universe here. Because it doesn't mean that the parent can, and then a certain parent will get a certain kind of personality, and here comes genetics, and the next thing it's a Tiger or it's a Michael Jordan. Let me go back to this too. Michael Jordan didn't get a ninth grade basketball uniform.
Yeah.
And all of us think that we can make somebody a kid and decide what his path in sports is going to be when they're 13 years old just because they hit a home run, you know, in the park. Greatness evolves. Bo Jackson was not Bo Jackson when I got him when he was 18. Yeah. And quite honestly, I don't think I helped him. I think I hurt him. I didn't have any friggin' idea what the it factor was with Bo. He had something that could compete at a level that was beyond his talent. We knew how high he could jump, how far he could throw, all that stuff. There is something else in there, just like there is in the great ones, just like there is in Mahomes. There is something else in there that you see it, you admire it, and you don't know where the hell it came from.
It's magic.
It is magic.
You know, Rodney and I didn't start the Eric and Rodney Show until we were in our 40s. So sometimes it
late bloomers.
That's right. That's right. We're getting started late.
Yeah.
We don't have much time left, but I watched Swamp Kings. I don't know if you've seen that about the Urban Meyer.
Yes, I did watch it.
Tim Tebow and Aaron Hernandez and the Pouncy.
Yeah, what the hell happened to Tim Tebow? He fell off a cliff.
Yeah, I don't know, but they said Urban Meyers. Urban Meyer. They said he treated his all-stars like all-stars, and they were allowed to eat shrimp and steak. And he said he treated his shit like shit. So half the team was eating hot dogs and hamburgers. What did you have a general coaching philosophy? Did you treat everyone the same? Did you treat people differently? How'd you look at it?
I treated them like who they were.
You
treated
them like who they were.
Yeah, you treat them like who they are, but you got to make sure. You got to make sure you don't cross that line with them and start pulling your team apart too, because all the players know everything. They know what you think they don't know. Shit, they know. Who was Tebow's wide receiver? Perry. What was his name?
Oh yeah, he was on the thing.
Perry something or another.
Yeah, but I'll tell you a story. I got this. This is the kind of things you pick up along the line. So I'm in Florida. We're in Tallahassee. There was only one hotel that a team could stay in Tallahassee. And I took actually a Jacksonville State team down there to play Florida State. And, it's the same bunch of people that works on that takes care of every team that plays Florida State for like 40 years. And I was always one that got there early and wanted to talk to people that were, serving the food, the people that were there to take care of you. I'd do things that, ask them if I could help them. And I said, what's the best story you've ever seen in here before? Because I could only imagine how many stuff they'd see that, like the act I was fixing to go through. All these players come in, you preach to them, you hellfire and men and all that kind of stuff. And this one server, great lady, she says, Coach, I think the thing that I'll always remember was when Urban Meyer brought Florida in here, and they were all, because when you're having a pregame meal, you keep it really quiet. I mean, it's just sort of a standard, and what's that guy's name? Perry or whatever his name was.
Perry.
Anyway, I can't remember his name, but she said she knew his name. She said, he just screamed out at the top of his voice, I'm not eating this shit. And I said, well, what did Urban do? She said, well, Urban called this guy over there and said, go ask him what he wants.
Wow.
And assistant coach or graduate assistant, something, goes over there, comes back and says he wants, I don't know, the different colored little sugar cereal things, whatever it is.
Fruit Loops or something?
Fruit Loops or something like that. That wasn't exactly what it is. Comes back to Urban and said, well, he said he wanted such and such. He says, go to the damn store and get it.
Wow.
Now, when I say I wouldn't, you know what that would have happened with that guy if he'd have done that with me?
I was going to say.
Or with Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
But he knew that Urban was gonna, but
Thank you, Garrett.
Urban could handle more crap, I think, than probably the rest of us. He was maybe that's a great coaching talent. I don't know, but he handled more different kinds of personalities at their own level. Yeah. And I think to some degree that has a benefit to it. Because
I don't see humans like things to be binary, black, white, Republican, Democrat, but like Andy Reid is a very different coach than Bill Belichick. They're both going to win. We have 6. Andy's going to have more than he has right now. So there's not just one way to do it. So I don't know.
I think there is a criticism sometimes of giving special treatment, but special people sometimes need special treatment. I don't think I treated both special enough. To be honest with you, I think there were times I could have done more things to help Bo than I did. Because
if not for you, Bo could have played pickleball as well. He could have been football, baseball.
Listen, please don't tell him about pickleball. We don't need anybody with any more remote talents. Please, he'll get out there and take over the game.
All right. Well, listen, Jack. LinkedIn has a hard cutoff at an hour, so we're gone there. But we're still on YouTube. But if you want to say anything about your amazing organization before we take up?
We're a nonprofit. We raise money. We've got 5 full-time employees, and we're I guess going into our 5th year. But we are part of a national policy. I'm also the vice chair of the National Council of Youth Sports, which allows me to promulgate the message on a national platform. And we're about to get involved. And if anybody were to be listening to this, I'm Jay Crowe at CoachSafely.org. Anybody that would be willing to help expand the mission a little bit, I'd appreciate the message. Listen, it's just me. I'm here. This is what I do. What I've come to find out is I do it 16 hours a day, just like I was damn coaching, which is crazy because there ain't no money in it. I probably put $750,000 in making this happen.
Oh my God.
So my wife is done with that too. She is.
You must be exhausted between all these years of you coaching football, which is like 100 hours a week, and now 16 days doing this. I mean, 16 hours.
She runs a foundation for children. Actually, I'm the B player at my house.
Ain't that always the way? We do have to shut this up. Jack, you were an amazing guest. Thank you so much. Don't leave. I'm going to stick around for 1 second. I just have to shut off the broadcast. But
all right. Yeah.
Oh, look, my mother enjoyed you, Jack. So great show today.
Facebook still goes on. Yeah. Yeah,
no, Facebook goes on. LinkedIn shuts off. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow, America. Enjoy your evening. Hey, listen, who's playing tonight? The Chiefs and the Lions? Chiefs? Who are the Chiefs playing?
The Chiefs and the
Lions. Yeah.
Lions.
Whatever.
The Chiefs are winning tonight.
Yeah, by 8,000 points. All right, see you later. Goodbye.